Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speedrunning video. So in today's video I'm going to be building a little mermaid house for two mermaid sisters. Now if you didn't see my last video then you won't be aware of this, but currently I'm not actually at home. I'm actually away. I believe I'll be in New York at this point. So I am actually traveling all the way to Toronto on Tuesday to go and visit my brother because he does live out there. And so whilst I'm over there, I am actually just going to New York for just a single day. So I believe when this video goes up on Friday, I should be in New York by this time. So that is really, really exciting. I'm so happy and I'm just so lucky that I'm actually able to visit two of my favorite countries in one go. But for today's video, talking about the build a little bit, I'm going to be building these kind of mermaid place for some mermaids to live. Now I've had this idea in my head for a really long time, but I just haven't kind of done any Sulani builds in a while because I had a little stage when Island Living came out and I wanted to produce so many different builds because I had so many different ideas, but I kind of felt like my content was all kind of looking the same, as it was all kind of built in the same kind of world and it had all very similar aspects. And so I did decide to switch it up for a little bit, and I kind of went back to more suburban houses and parks and all different kinds of things. But I decided for today's video that I do just want to build this little mermaid house, and I just absolutely love this. So the idea behind it was that two mermaids would live here. They would probably be sisters, and they just kind of have their own little bedrooms. So you can kind of see there is three buildings. We have this big main building at the very front of the lot. Now this building is actually the kitchen and the bathroom, so this is kind of where your Sims can fill their needs up and all that kind of stuff. I do also add a little sofa area and a desk in here as well, but there is no actually official lounge room just because I didn't want to make it too big. I still wanted it to look like little huts, and there is plenty of activities for your Sims to do in their bedrooms anyway. And then in the two other little rooms we do just have some bedrooms, so you've got all different activities. You've got the bed obviously, and you've got the desk and all that kind of stuff, but I really wanted to create as small of huts as I could possible, and so I didn't make them very big, and that's why I didn't put a lounge room in here. But like I said, there is still plenty for your Sims to do, so you don't have to worry about having kind of a lack of gameplay if you want to download this house. So if you do actually want to download this, it will be available on my gallery now. All of my builds that I'm doing, which I'm pre-recording, are going to already be on the gallery. So if you actually want to go on the gallery and follow me and kind of see what kind of videos that I'm going to be coming out with on Sunday, then you can. But if you want to search me, my origin IG is JessicapieYT, or you can just search the hashtag JessicapieYT or just the hashtag Jessicapie. But now you can kind of see the main structure of these buildings have come together, and I kind of went for, well, at first I kind of went for this more kind of out there swatches on the main big buildings, so where the kitchen and the bathroom is, but then I do actually end up changing it. So you can kind of see at the minute it's got like bits of blue in, and I believe it had like orange and red at one point, but I do actually change it and kind of make it a little bit more neutral in a minute. I still do keep some kind of bright colours, but not as bright as I originally intended it to be. I also did just add some jungle adventure plants on the side of it. I kind of imagine that could be possibly seaweed, and I know this came with jungle adventure and it doesn't look like seaweed, but it was just kind of what I was imagining in my head at this point, and so that's why I decided to add that. I also do have these kind of thatched or straw roofs, and I absolutely love them, and I think they're so perfect in this world, and I'm so happy that we actually got them with the pack. But now I'm actually moving on and doing a little bit of landscaping. So with the landscaping, I just decided to add a few plants here and there. I do actually try and mix in some base game plants and just some plants that we already had before the pack came out, and I used these orange ones which we originally got with base game, and I normally tend to use them in more like Oasis Springs, and I was trying to make them work, but in the end I believe I actually end up deleting them and just kind of keeping the majority of the landscaping to all the plants that we got with Island Living. But you can kind of see I do have two different plots of landscaping, so we have two little separate clusters. We have one cluster which kind of has this single palm tree and a few flowers, and then the other one we have these two palm trees which kind of cross over each other, and then we also do have a really lovely pink tree which we also got with the new pack, which is one of my favorite items or landscaping items that we actually got with it. I think that is so beautiful, and I've actually used it in a build which I did a little while ago, which was my Mediterranean kind of house one, and I just feel like all of these plants work so well in Oasis Springs. But moving on, I've started doing the furnishing of this house. So I did start off with the kitchen, and like always I did do the wallpapering and flooring off camera. Hopefully one day I'll be able to do it quick enough so I can actually keep the footage each in, but normally it just takes me way too long to decide. But I did actually end up going with this one that we got from Island Living, and this wallpaper I actually use in both like the kind of kitchen area and the lounge area, and then both the bedrooms. And the same thing goes for the flooring. So the flooring is just also from the new pack. But in this kitchen I did use the new counters that we got in the pack, and I actually used them in a swatch that I haven't actually used yet, and I feel like every single time that I've used these counters so far, it's been in the more kind of neutral swatches. And since I had such a colourful oven and fridge, I really wanted to mix the swatches up a little bit. So both the fridge and the oven are from Jungle Adventure, and I kind of use this in this really bright blue swatch, and I really like it. And I was thinking with mermaids and just all the water, it will just kind of go in some weird way. And now I'm actually finishing off the kitchen, and one thing that I've actually found with Island Living is the plant that I've just placed in kind of one of the corners. I find that really annoying because as soon as you place it, there's this really dark shadow on it. So hopefully that can get fixed really soon. You would have also just seen that I added a few debug menu items onto the wall. I added 2 photographs, which I believe that you can get from the scuba diving career or possibly the scuba diving activity. And then I also added this really beautiful mermaid-like fish because it's kind of got these little scales on it. It's kind of got the mermaid colours. But then once I was actually going in and taking the screenshots for this build, I then realised that mermaids are kind of fish, and so my kind of thought process behind it now is it's probably a fake fish, because if you're a mermaid and you're part fish, then it wouldn't be very realistic to have a real fish on your wall. And so I'm just going to say that that's actually a fake fish and that it's not a real fish, because that wouldn't be very mermaid like. But now I'm moving on and going in and furnishing the bathroom. So I absolutely love this bathroom, and I feel like with all the builds that I've done in the new world, if I've been using a bathtub, then I've been using this one from Seasons, and I just feel like all the tones that the bath from Seasons comes in just matches all the new tones and the colour palette with the new pack. And so I did decide to use that in front of these big windows which just look out onto the ocean, and I just think you could probably get some really lovely pictures with your mermaids sitting in that bath with their little towel hanging out and just looking onto the ocean. I just think that's so beautiful. I am also going around and just adding these shelves just above the toilet, and that is just because I felt like that area was a little bit bare, and I kind of wanted to make the bathroom look a little bit more exciting, because they're not the most exciting room to look at, and they're definitely not the most exciting room to furnish. And so I just feel like sometimes if you add a few shelves, then it can just really make a bathroom a lot nicer just to look at. But I'm now moving on, and I've started furnishing one of the bedrooms. So this is the bedroom on the right hand side, so the little yellow hut. And in this bedroom I decided to go for more of a yellow and blue theme, more so yellow though, and it was kind of perfect because the exterior of this little building is actually a yellow paneling, so it just kind of works out perfectly. But in here we do have that double bed that we got with the pack, and that is by far my new favourite bed. I absolutely love it. I've said it a few times, but I just think that is so beautiful. And then I do also have the matching furniture to go along with it, which is kind of more this orangey kind of tone of wood, which I really like. And now you can actually see that I've actually started putting out loads of different debug menu items. Now I actually, once I've finished building the structure of the build, I then went off camera and then got all of the different things that you actually get from like collectibles from the new world, and I placed them in some Sims household inventory, and then that way when I'm building it's just easier to find them, and then I didn't actually have to search for the like hidden objects cheat or the different build and buy menus, because it is quite long. And so I did just pull a few of them items out. We have a few of the treasures that you actually get with the pack. We have a few seashells here and there. I believe I actually used all the seashells in this build. So if your Sims like to be collectors, or maybe you just like collecting all of them just so your Sims has them all, then if you actually download this house and then you actually put them all into your kind of your backpack or your inventory, then your Sim will actually complete the collection, because they are all actually in this build. You just need to go around and place them in. You can kind of see I did also just add a little desk area into this bedroom as well, just because I wanted there to be something else to do. There is also one in kind of like the kitchen area, but I still wanted the mermaids to have their own separate personal computers. I also did add this mirror from Jungle Adventure, which I absolutely love, and I felt like it just went so perfectly with this room. But now I am just finishing it off, and I did add this rug, which I believe is a laundry day rug, I think, and I don't think I've ever actually used it in that swatch before. I normally just tend to go for more of the plainer swatches, or maybe the white swatch with a few flowers on it, but I really wanted to tie this room in just to be like a yellow room, and so that's why I decided to use that one. But now I'm actually moving on, and I'm starting furnishing the other bedroom. So this is in the kind of little blue hut, and this is probably my favorite bedroom out of the two. I just really love this bedroom, and I love the way it came together. I use this same furniture in all the rooms apart from the chest of drawers. I just changed up the chest of drawers because we do actually get 2 of them with this pack, but I use the same bed but just in different swatches. And for this room is obviously a very pink room, and I did the same thing in this room. I just got loads of different like debug menu items, just some from Jungle Adventure, just some from Get to Work, and just kind of clustered them all together. And I went for the ones that was more pink in this room just because I really wanted to get that theme of pink throughout the furnishing when I was doing this. But in this bedroom we do just have the very similar objects to in the other bedroom, the exact same things basically, but just in different swatches to kind of match with the Sims personalities. I was kind of thinking that this Sim could just really love pink and the other Sim just really likes yellow and blue. I did also add a little desk area into this bedroom as well, but I decided to go for a single desk which is from Parenthood just because I felt like it went better, and I actually wanted to add a bookcase into this room, and so I decided to go just for a smaller kind of desk. And this is the white one from Parenthood, by the way, and I just think it looks so perfectly. And then I just matched it with a chair from Parenthood, which I believe is actually a dining chair, but I felt like because it had a touch of pink in it, it wouldn't really matter too much. But now I'm actually just going to finish this room off, and I'm just going to add a little bookcase into this section. I was going to actually add a little sofa, but then I do actually go back and just change it just because I just really wanted a bookcase in this house somewhere, and so I decided to put it into this bedroom. I just used one of the base game ones in this really light wooden tone, and it's very similar to the same tone on the chair, and I just felt like it would match in some kind of way. And now I'm actually struggling with that light just because my first pet soft light was just kind of merging in really strangely to the curtain, and I don't know what was happening, so I decided to switch that one out and just use this one from base game. But anyway guys, I am going to end this voiceover here. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed watching me build this little mermaid house, and as always, if you do like my content then please subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in my next Sims 4 speed building video. Bye guys.